Get a jump on your fresh start. Time to get your money right.
Hey everybody, this is Samuel.
And this is Kirsty with Fresh Start Financial Education.
Let's talk about co-signing. What is co-signing? So co-signing is when you sign a loan or a lease jointly with another person in order to guarantee payment. That's the pure definition of it. Here at Fresh Start, we have our own definition. Basically, if they don't pay, they're coming after you.
Yes, they will. So contrary to what some people might think, oh, just co-signing means I'll just make sure they make their payments. No, the lender is gonna look at you as equally responsible for that debt. Meaning, if that person doesn't pay, they want you to pay, and that's it.
Now you may have heard of lenders requesting a co-signer for home loans, auto loans, personal loans, student loans.
That's a big one.
That's a huge one. And the reason that they're requesting a co-signer is because in their eyes, there is a high statistical chance that that person won't pay the money back. Now they're requesting a co-signer for various reasons. It could be because of poor payment history, low or no credit score, or simply because the individual has a high amount of existing debt.
Right.
So they want to be able to hold someone else accountable. When a lender requests a co-signer, they understand that these are high-risk loans.
So why is co-signing a bad idea? Well, first and foremost, if you look at scripture, which many of you know is a big part of how we view finances, the Bible talks specifically about co-signing in the book of Proverbs, which is also referred to as the book of wisdom. In Proverbs chapter 22, verses 26 through 27 says, don't agree to guarantee another person's debt or put up security for someone else. And verse 27 says, if you can't pay it, even your bed will be snatched from under you. So those scriptures are twofold. It first gives us the command to not co-sign. Secondly, it tells us what could happen if we do.
So a second reason why we don't suggest you co-sign is because it could put you in a really difficult financial situation.
Yeah.
So imagine, with all the bills and things that you're trying to work through and eliminating debt, imagine being told that you have to take on another person's debt because they failed to pay.
Yeah.
And creditors, they don't play. They go to extremes sometime to get their money.
Yeah.
I mean, you got harassing phone calls.
Letters in the mail.
Letters in the mail. They'll even, I believe some can they garnish your pay?
Yeah, so they can sue you for the money.
Sue you.
You can end up with judgments against you. And with those judgments sometimes comes wage garnishment. They could withhold your tax returns or other federal benefits such as Social Security. In fact, I had a client reach out to me one time that wanted to purchase a home, and she was an elderly woman in her 70s. She was receiving a Social Security benefit monthly, and part of that was being garnished. Every single month they were taking part of her Social Security check because she had co-signed for her grandson's student loans 15 years prior, and he had defaulted on those loans. So they were literally taking money from her monthly Social Security check, which was already tight for her, because of the fact that she co-signed for her grandson years prior.
That's sad.
Yeah.
And lastly, co-signing is a terrible idea because it can negatively affect the relationships with your family and friends.
Yeah.
Most times, the person that's requesting you to co-sign or asking you to co-sign, they're not a stranger. It's obviously someone you're either close with by being a family member or a close friend.
Right.
And when they don't end up paying, because again, as we discussed previously, there's a high statistical chance that they won't, it can really damage your relationship.
So I know a lot of times if someone asks you to co-sign, it could be a really awkward situation. You might feel bad for saying no. Sometimes you might feel obligated because that person may have done a favor for you in the past. I know we've had people ask us to co-sign, and it can be a little hard sometimes saying no because that person feels like I really need this and I need your help. But there are other ways to help people that are asking you to co-sign, and it's really can be a benefit to your relationship by just politely declining to help them in that particular way.
It's not difficult for me to say no at this point in my life. Knowing what I know now, if you're watching this video, never ask me to co-sign because I'll say no. I love you, but I'm gonna say no.
Right.
So with that being said, don't you ever co-sign.
Just say no.